Tony, we've seen this offseason a situation with Andrew where he said repeatedly he would like to stay, finish his career with his franchise, and the franchise responds with the economic realities are going to prevent that. Are we truly in an era now where we've always heard it's diminishing the guys being like Ripken or Starge or whatever. Is that really pretty much dead now?
You won't hear me say that. I think every club and every player has a decision to make in regards to what they value, how they value it, and how that's going to manifest itself in whatever roster decisions they make. I think as a player, I'll share my own experience. You assume that when you start, you're going to play with that team the rest of your career. They're the team that drafted you, and that's kind of how you start the engine. But there's so many different factors that become a part of the conversation that it may not be economic at the end of the day. It may be others. There may be roster construct. Any number of things can become a part of the conversation. So you won't hear me say that a player staying in one place for the entirety of his career isn't going to happen or is less likely to happen. I think how a team evaluates a player now in some ways may be different than how they evaluated players in the past, and as a result, their decisions are going to reflect it. So does that mean that a player is not going to stay in one place all the way through? Not necessarily. Does it mean that it's less likely to happen? It may be in some places, maybe not in others. It's really hard to say. But as a player, I think you start out believing you're going to be in one place, and then business changes and the world changes, and suddenly you don't find yourself there, and you adjust accordingly. So I think every player understands on some level the business aspect that becomes a part of the conversation. It just doesn't always become a part of the conversation to the player until a little bit later, but it is always a part of the conversation on management side because of the business that they're running.